Get ready to dive into a world where empires stand on the brink of war and terrible monsters tear at the fragile borderlands of men. The Adventurer-Conqueror King System Imperial Imprint, or as we like to call it, Acts 2, is now live on Kickstarter. Acts 2 is the new edition of the acclaimed best-selling fantasy role-playing game. You'll find everything you need to enjoy epic fantasy campaigns with a sweeping scope. Whether you want to crawl through dungeons, experiment with alchemy, crossbreed monsters, run a merchant emporium, raise an undead legion, or even conquer an empire, Acts 2 supports your playstyle. Acts 2 integrates experience point mechanics, making campaign activities a seamless part of the core gameplay loop. Your character levels up in new and exciting ways each time you play, adding massive replayability to each of your adventures. Acts 2 offers 18 character classes, 378 spells, new combat mechanics, and so much more. Support Acts 2 on Kickstarter today.
For the fourth year in a row, Dawn is partnering with iHeartRadio for Can't Cancel Pride, a campaign that has raised over $11 million for the LGBTQ+ community. Dawn continuously strives to celebrate visibility and inclusivity for all, and that means supporting amazing organizations like Centerlink, providing safe spaces where over 52,000 community members go each week to receive critical and life-saving services. Dawn is there for your home, or your home away from home. So visit can'tcancelpride.com to learn more.
That was a great dinner.
So great. Wait, where'd you park the car?
Oh, the one I just sold to Carvana.
What? When did you do that?
When you were still looking at the menu. I went on Carvana.com and all I had to do was enter the license plate or VIN, answer a few questions, and got a real offer in seconds.
They picked up the car already?
No, I parked around the corner. But they are picking it up tomorrow and paying me right on the spot.
Oh, no wonder you picked up the check.
Yeah, about that. Thought we were going halvesies.
Sell your car to Carvana. Visit Carvana.com or download the app to get a real offer in seconds.
Knocked Prone is a clean, chaotic, and deep podcast for D&D nerds. Find more ways to support our show in the episode description.
Last time on Knocked Prone.
All I've ever wanted is to fall in love, and for years, Finch has swept me off my feet. He came all this way to be with me, and it's my fault that he was here in this mine. I'm going to go after him, and I will stop at nothing to bring us back together.
You indeed see Finch bowing to this female Drider.
What is a measly spider gonna do?
Lolth has recently died, but this man has conquered the spider venom and lived. And so, he is to be my spouse.
I remember you. You talked with my uncle.
Kaylin, if I recall. And Zag, you see an amulet around her neck with the soul stone that Kaylin gave you that is the exact same as yours.
You don't deserve a piece of him. That belongs to me.
If you don't want to go to Ascended Corp to fix Finch, I don't see another way besides her.
Selene, you fall unconscious. I'm going to need you to make me a Constitution saving throw.
So I got a 10 for the Constitution saving throw.
Take 2 death saves. Failed death saves. As you feel spider poison coursing through your body and you feel legs start to sprout from out of you. I'd rather Arachnia Blue.
Well, I doubt they want you either.
You know, you may leave. No deal. Selene, as the Bridesmaid of Darkness, says this. You feel that same burning in your veins, and go ahead and roll me a death save.
That's a 3!
Now, normally at 3 death saving throws, that would be it, Selene. You would be dead. However, this Drider poison that is in your veins from this Drider bite seeps through you and causes you to stabilize.
Okay, at this point, I'm attacking her.
Whether you're a halfling, a giant, or somewhere in between, around the table with your friends, playing Dungeons and Dragons. And if life ever knocks you down, your dice will surely turn around. Voice as it's time to quest, let's put your characters to the test.
My name is Cade Backus, the host and dungeon master of this Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition adventure, and I'm joined here by the characters to my left.
Alec playing Zag.
Mason playing Grom.
Marissa playing Efimia.
And Brooklyn playing Selene.
Right now, you guys are in the midst of combat. Grom, you have just turned around to re-attack the Bridesmaid of Darkness in this web-covered cave. There are skitterings of baby spiders everywhere, and this Drider has basically told you that she can't be trusted because she shot this web at you even after you guys made the deal to go get Arachnia Blue. It seems that her hunger for Zag's amulet from his uncle has overpowered her, and she is ready to attack.
Zag's doing good on spell slots, but his health he's bloodied, we'll say.
Okay.
Could use improvement.
Grom has full hit points and full spells, 0 out of 0. So
nice.
Well.
Efimia is on the ground with an arrow in her. She's not poisoned, which is the good news, but she is nearing the scary "are you gonna die" phase. Really low on hit points, at a 3 currently, as well as being pretty battered and on the ground right now. And she has no spell slots.
Speaking of poisoned, hey, let's go over to the poison crew.
So I am poisoned. I did go down last episode, so Selene's kind of freaking out, but feeling hopeful that she has a chance to live.
Grom, you are next in the initiative order after the Bridesmaid of Darkness. She has just attacked Efimia.
Enough! And I'm just going to throw my hammer at her. 11. I'm going to use inspiration. Natural 19, so it's a crit now.
It's a crit?
Oh.
Okay. Roll double damage. Double dice.
I needed a win.
11 points of bludgeoning damage.
Okay.
And then I'm going to run at her with my horns. They have to make a strength saving throw.
That's a big old natural 2.
Okay, I can use my horns to make a shove attack.
Okay.
The shove attack can be used to push them 10 feet away. The shove attack can also be used to knock someone prone. Get all of her legs on one side into one side of my horns and just run under her. Be on the other side, thrown my shield down, and just have my fists out at this point.
She looks like a turtle who's been flipped onto their shell, frantically trying to use her spider legs to reposition herself. However, she is completely upside down. Her belly looks very vulnerable and weak. It looks like they are within a few hit points of death. Selene, you are up.
I'm running out the door.
Okay.
Me and Efimia both are like heading in the other direction. But before I really get too far, I'd like to turn around, take out my crossbow, and do my best to try to give one more blow.
Okay, roll it.
I got a 1.
A natural 1? Well, with that, your arrow sails wide and doesn't hit anything.
So it turns out I'm not very good at running away from things and shooting a crossbow, which
Yes.
in my defense, I've never done before.
You're just not used to your spider legs yet.
But with-
like you're like kind of skittering around and like
Yeah. As you're running away, you shoot at this Drider and a spider trips you up. One of these little spiders trips you up. Finch is up. Selene, roll me a charisma check.
Oh, no.
A natural 19, which would be 21.
With a 21, Finch catches your eye as you're running away.
Selene, this is wrong.
And he looks at the Bridesmaid of Darkness, and he's going to attack her.
Oh, heck yes. Love.
He gets a natural 14, so that is going to hit, and he will deal 9 points of piercing damage as he runs up to the Bridesmaid of Darkness, and using his claws, he slashes into the Bridesmaid's stomach. He looks at you, Grom, and he says,
If you need to go, I can hold her off.
I'm not going anywhere.
And with that, Zag, you are up.
Dude, before I go, I just gotta say, like, even out of character, freaking go Finch, man.
Yeah!
Go Finch, redeemed. Okay, so seeing Grom go back in, Zach's gonna turn around and do the same. He's going to run towards the bridesmaid. She's still knocked prone, yeah?
She's still knocked prone.
Zag is furious, more than he's ever felt, for sure. Very high emotions situation, and he's going to attempt to jump with 2 fists over his head and slam them down on the spider's abdomen while simultaneously casting a 2nd level inflict wounds. 14 hit.
A 14 will hit, so you go right into this abdomen. You pierce through the abdomen, in fact, with your hands.
I will be doing 4d10 with this, with being the peace domain. You know, he's a protector of peace, wants to maintain peace, and I think in Zag's mind, there is nothing peaceful about this creature. There is nothing that she will bring to the world that will help other people, and in his mind, he'll be doing the right thing. That's going to be 23 points of necrotic damage, and I almost want to flavor that like he's trying to just almost chill her soul to the core.
Reach inside her abdomen. Your necrotic energy in your hands pierces through. How would you like to do this?
Yeah!
Okay, so as Zag gives the kill shot, the final shot, like I said, he's just trying to almost like destroy her soul at this point. There's so much anger and rage. The bridesmaid's eyes are just going to go almost like a pure black, completely consumes them. All the color in her face is drained out, and I want it to almost seem like her entire soul has just left her body as he's almost like sucking it out.
The soul is sucked out. You feel the power of her soul gem that she's wearing diminish and be sucked into your own soul gem. And you are allowed to also collect Kaylin's soul gem off of her after the fight. However, Selene, as you are looking back at this mayhem happening, you notice that while Zag is reaching his hands into this Drider, there is a shadow of a different creature, it looks like, that is reaching over Zag and is providing this necrotic energy. And it almost looks like a spirit from one of your phantom visions. It's a different entity from Zag. You notice that it is a spirit, like a spirit that you've seen in a phantom vision before. And Zag, as you kill this Bridesmaid of Darkness and absorb this soul stone energy, you are overcome with this necrotic force as you have done your first kill of the campaign. And your brain...
Man. I'm so nervous right now, dude. I can't even tell you right now what is happening.
You black out for a second. Like your eyes go black and you black out. And you have a vision. You're back with your team fighting against these Cult of Orcus zombies in the sewerway.
Right.
And they're performing this ritual. Your body has an astral projection and you are taken elsewhere. Your body follows where the ritual was leading to. This zombie ritual that these zombies were doing to summon Orcus, in your guys' mind, was a failure because Orcus was not summoned. However, your body follows the energy. You are transported to the dimension of Lolth. Lolth, the Spider Queen. You notice that Orcus has been summoned with the ritual that these zombies did. Orcus's body has been summoned into Lolth's plane, and he is ripping her apart. And so you see Lolth die in the arms of Orcus as he takes out one of the gods of the 10, and then he looks back at you almost directly in the eyes, even though you're technically not there, and you hear just whisperings in your mind of these necrotic forces all around you. These whisperings are telling you that Lolth, the Spider Queen, is dead. The Bridesmaid of Darkness, who was supposed to find her successor, is dead. It now falls upon you to either find another person to take over for the gods of the 10, or a power vacuum will form and some entity will fill one of the gods of the 10 position. And with that, you wake back up.
Are we coming back to now where I would talk, or do we want to? Did they witness this happen? Like, how long was I out?
So you were out for 6 seconds. So during this round, you guys all notice Zag uses what looks like the last of his energy to destroy this Drider. As the Bridesmaid of Darkness falls to the ground dead and Zag falls to the ground unconscious for 6 seconds, Finch transforms out of Drider form and falls to the ground blue in the face and starts having a seizure.
So just for a moment, you know, I'm like really locked on to the being that I saw from Zag around him. And I definitely noticed the darkness, you know, that comes when he uses his spells, but it had never been so big and so vivid, actually being able to make out an entire person who we almost seemed to be on the same plane. And I'm not really sure what other people saw, but I know what I saw. Quickly, I think I'm going to notice Finch changed back and clearly not doing well. So as quickly as I can, I'll be heading in his direction to see if there's anything I can do.
As you approach Finch, he is seizing on the ground, but his eyes blinks so fast that it looks like while he's seizing, Selene, it's okay. I'm okay. I just need a little more venom. I didn't say it before. It didn't seem like a good time. But and he reaches into his pocket and he pulls out a ring and he says, "Will you marry me?" And he gives you this, and he gives you a diamond ring with a blue diamond on the top of it. And he looks at you, and then his body, after he says, "Will you marry me?" and hands you this diamond ring, his body goes cold and lifeless.
No, Kane,
Did
don't.
you really? In this same moment that she's running over to Finch, Grom is going to be going in for follow-up attacks on the queen, but see Zag fall, and it's going to kind of break him out, and he's going to just run and try to go up and just be kind of tapping him on the face. Zag, wake up! Wake up!
I'm going to instinctively cast Healing Hands and heal him for 4 damage.
You feel the magic leave your hands and course into him, The hit points are absorbed. However, nothing changes.
I just absolutely lose it. Like that was the only trick I had in my bag, and so the whole party just witnesses me losing my crap.
Efimia, you notice that Grom is trying to wake up Zag. Selene is trying to wake up Finch. However, just past the Drider bridesmaid, you see runic writing etch on the wall behind her.
Do I know what this rune means?
It is in common. It describes details on how to reverse Drider poison. It's like a in case of emergency break glass thing, except in case of bridesmaid dying, here are the steps to curing the people who have been poisoned. Within 2 days of the bridesmaid dying, anyone who's been poisoned by the Bridesmaid of Darkness can be cured, even if they've been fully turned. However, it takes a ritual that needs the purest form of Drider venom, which is only available in deeper sanctums of the Underdark. The pure form of Drider venom needs to be taken to a holy place in Brigaroon in order to be blessed by a priest. A certain ritual that you completely understand with your warlock background. Being a warlock class, you know exactly how to perform this ritual, so you are able to agilely take notes on the somatic, verbal, and other components that you need in order to complete this ritual.
Efimia is obviously like pretty beat up. She was like partially dragged by Selene a little bit, and then Selene tripped over a baby spider.
Yeah.
She's not having it right now. She at least managed to pull the arrow out of herself, and she's kind of running on pure adrenaline right now. Like, she feels the pain, but probably not as much as she should, or realize like it'll hit momentarily. But especially just reading these runes, she is just looking up at them and trying to comprehend everything that's going around her, because it feels like pure chaos. Like, you've got Zag over passed out, and then you've got Grom trying to wake him up, and Selene trying to wake up Finch, who looks pretty haggard himself. And so she's just trying to absorb all of this information because it's a lot. She's just going to walk closer to the runes and try to reach back a little painfully and grab the notebook out of her bag and start writing down as much as she can of the runes to remember actually what's on there.
A round passes. Zag, you wake up.
So Zag wakes up. I'm guessing he's laying flat on his back, right?
Yes.
He's looking up. Grom's probably way too close, I'm going to just assume. Zag's going to look up at him, and he's going to start to cry. Like, this is a traumatic life, like a sudden change almost type of experience for Zag. Like, this is completely out of his normal. He's going to grab Grom, bring him close, and he's just going to say, I don't know what's happening to me.
You're all right. You're all right. Just on your feet, and I'll kind of help lift him up.
I'm assuming Zag's going to almost be weak after that encounter. As Grom pulls him up, Zag's going to, have his arm around him. Even though he's a little shorter than him, kind of arm on him. And even though he still has some strength left, he's gonna just surrender, let go, hold on to Grom, and let Grom just take care of him in this moment.
And I'll hobble over to Finch and Selene and just say, he doesn't look well. Is there anything you can do? And I'll look to Selene.
Zag's just gonna look at him. Like I said, he's exhausted. Like, this whole thing has been such a... If he could have... I don't want a point of exhaustion. I'm just gonna say that right now. But we're gonna just almost say, like, he almost has, like, multiple points of exhaustion after that encounter. He's gonna say, Selene, what happened?
I have no idea what happened. I don't know. It seemed like after the bridesmaid died, he changed back, but then he wasn't well, and he just... I tried to heal him, and nothing helped, and I don't know what I'm gonna do.
Grom, let me go. Zag's gonna kind of just look him over, like, am I able to identify any reason of what's going on? Like, is he alive? Is he... What can I tell?
Roll me a medicine check.
That's gonna be a 12.
Finch has been cured of being a Drider. However, he is addicted to Drider venom. Okay. His blood cannot survive without Drider venom inside of it, and without being a Drider, he will not be able to sustain his life. Efimia, you are able to kind of like chip in that he has you guys are on a 2-day timer, because as soon as the Bridesmaid of Darkness has been gone for 2 days, there is no way of him coming back.
Are you trying to give Efimia PTSD? Like, this is exactly what happened to Edmund.
Oh no!
Oh, Oh, dude. So I'm able to at least realize that he has an addiction to this.
He has an addiction. Well, his body has a dependency on venom.
Would you consider that a condition or disease to have a dependency?
Yes, however, it is an ongoing dependency. So something like lesser restoration would unfortunately not cure it. It would momentarily make it go away, but it would come back.
Do I know any idea of how long it would cure it for?
With a medicine of 12, you do not.
All right. I'm going to go ahead. In this moment, I'm not going to just be like, well, I'm not sure if it's going to work, Zag's going to put a hand on Finch's leg and cast lesser restoration.
All right, roll me a D100.
95.
Oh.
Finch comes back to life. He has an hour and 35 minutes before his venom dependency comes back. I'm okay. Thank you. He tackle hugs you from the ground. And Selene, hi. I'm feeling okay.
So there's no mood shift. I'm still absolutely hysterical. So I'm just I'm the ugliest anybody's ever seen my gorgeous face. And I'm still sobbing and convulsing, and I'm on the floor, and it's happier tears now. But you can't really tell. I'm still freaking out, but internally I'm happier.
Zag's he's gonna lay flat on his back after casting that, almost like he's about to just pass out, and he's gonna just say over to Finch, as Celine's best friend, you have my permission.
Thank you. I wasn't really sure about who I was going to ask to be my best man, but I did have this ring just in case somebody was interested. So I don't know if you want to be my best man. It's his class ring from high school.
I'm gonna make you put it on me, kid.
So he gives you a best man ring. It's got a ruby on the top of it.
You know how when babies are sleeping and then sometimes they just randomly smile, super cute?
Yes.
I want that to be the look on Zag's face. He's almost on the brink of just passed out. He doesn't say anything, you just see that little smile.
And he says, of course, it's contingent. Selene, you don't have to say anything right now. You can think about it, and whenever you have a decision for me, just let me know.
Yeah, I'm incapable of words right now. I will have words later, I promise, but there's mascara all over my face. I'm beet red. My hair is an absolute rat's nest. Half my dress is falling off my shoulder. I don't even think I've seen his face except a glimpse when he woke up.
He takes off his jacket and he puts it over your shoulders and he says, I love you and I hope that you get feeling better, and I'm sorry.
I calmed down a little.
And then he looks at Grom and Efimia and he says, I'm really sorry I was so hasty. I was really excited to be around Selene and her friends, and I hope you can forgive me. I've caused this entire mess. This is my fault. If there's anything I can do to make it up to you guys, you let me know, okay?
Let's start by getting out of here. I don't know how many of these spiders are lurking around.
Does Efimia understand about the addiction thing?
Yes. You were able to basically, Efimia, after you read the rune on the wall, you were able to share that information with Zag, and Zag was able to share his medicine check with you. So you guys both know that Finch is on a time clock here, and he has this dependency on venom currently, and you know how to cure it, Efimia.
Okay. Efimia is just going to look at Finch and just go, I appreciate what you did out there. Even in your hastiness, I hope you found your asthma medication at the very least. I do appreciate what you did. And she's going to just take a deep breath because she's struggling at this point. So one thing that I have in Efimia's background that has not been really brought out yet. Efimia's been through this situation before. The whole reason why she made a pact with Orcus in the first place. Efimia is going to just take a deep breath and kind of gather her thoughts. She's just going to look around at everyone and just sit on the ground. She's just going to sit on the ground and put her head in her hands. This is not my first time dealing with this type of situation, unfortunately. I worry about the projection with Finch here, and she kind of gestures her arm out a little bit at him without really looking at him. The last time I had to deal with a situation like this, with a poison addiction of sorts, was what led me to my pact with Orcus. And she's still not looking at anyone. She's just still put her head back in her hands. We have 2 days. That is not a lot of time when you put it into perspective. But I think this time we have a chance to maybe undo what has been done.
If you made a pact with Orcus to get rid of this before, to have a pact with Orcus, can you get rid of it now?
Efimia's gonna lift her head up and goes, I don't have the power to do that myself right now, but I think I have a path that we can try. I would rather not to bring fearful and awful gods back into this if we can. But I will use my ability to help what I can with Selene because I have been in her shoes. We are going to need the Drider venom from the Underdark. And if we get it blessed in Brigaroon, I can manage the ritual at least. And then we may avoid the consequences that I have already done. And again, she's having a little trouble talking. She's not used to opening up to people at all. Though I haven't dealt with Drider venom before, I have dealt with choke mist and choke mist addictions. And at least in that front, it gets ugly.
Well, if we just need Drider venom.
And I'll walk over to the Bridesmaid of Darkness and I'll just grab one of the fangs in her mouth and just be like,
it comes out of these, I think.
And I'm just going to take my hammer and just go in for a swing to break off the fang.
You don't even have to roll it. It comes clean off.
And I'll start walking over, I guess, to Selene and just
hold still. And I'll
raise it to...
Efimia's just gonna go wide-eyed.
Well, yeah, wait, quick question, though, because I had Drider poison in me. How am I feeling? Where am I at with this?
So since you were not changed, Finch was exposed to a large vat of Drider venom, and it expedited the process very quickly. He turned into a Drider basically instantly, because of which he is much farther into the process. You can assume that you will also gain a dependency on Drider venom, but you know that from what Efimia read, the cure is not Drider venom, but the cure is the purest form of Drider venom.
Blessed Drider venom.
As well as pure Drider venom, which can be found deeper in the tunnels of the Underdark.
So you told us how much time Finch has until
95 minutes till the lesser restoration wears off.
My question is, how long do I have until I need the poison? Like, do I have that level of dependency?
Roll me an insight check.
Okay. 18.
You can assume that you have a day until you turn into a full Drider like Finch was.
Oh. So he has 2 days. I have 1 day?
So you have 1 day until you turn into this Drider form, but since the Bridesmaid of Darkness is dead, you won't turn into Drider form. You will just gain a dependency on Drider venom like Finch has, and be unconscious if you don't have a constant supply of Drider venom.
So that's in a day?
In a day.
And right now I'm totally fine?
You are fine.
Okay.
Efimia's just gonna hold her arms up, and about how far am I from Grom?
Everyone's within like 5 feet of each other.
So Efimia's just gonna roll out and grab Grom's ankle and be like, I did not tell you to do it with haste. I said there was a process.
Right, you don't have to be so snappy about it.
The thing to...
As if time wasn't of the essence.
I'll hold the fang out to you and like offer it to you to stab him. Like
Efimia just hits the fang out of his hands. It's like it just throws it on the ground.
Zag is gonna sit up almost instantly. He's gonna fight through the exhaustion of the tiredness. He's gonna sit up and think you guys are playing a game. What are you doing?
Zag, can you just promise me you're not going to try to stab Finch? And Grom, I can't ask that of you because I don't think you will understand. But buddy, we don't stab other people. Okay?
Okay.
Okay, thank you. And she sits up, and the adrenaline's starting to wear off. She's feeling the pain, and she's just exhausted. And she's just, again, huffing back into her own lap.
So what are we doing, guys? Are we going deeper? Are we gonna get that venom?
I'm gonna like stand up off the ground, attempting to compose myself. I don't think we have a lot of time, so it sounds like we need to get the venom, bring it to Brigaroon, bless it quickly, within Within a day? Within hours? I don't know. I don't think we have a lot of time, right?
No, we don't have a lot of time, but I don't know how much further we could all go at this moment.
We're already here. You may as well continue going deeper. I can go ahead if you'd like.
Zag's gonna grab his last minor healing potion that he has. He's gonna chug it, and that'll be 5 hit points restored. I'm ready, guys. Let's get going.
So you are all looking for the purest form of Drider venom. Now, the purest form of Drider venom comes from Lolth, and since Lolth is dead, you would assume that there's not a lot left. But there is, in the description that Efimia read on the rune in the wall, you do notice that there is a storage deeper into the Underdark.
Okay, you suggested going further into the Underdark, right?
Yes.
Well, I will follow.
We gotta help this guy.
Efimia's coming, but he ain't fast right now.
Yeah, we're
Don't worry,
hurting.
Grom moves at 25 feet per round, so you guys can be a little slow.
What are the odds we're gonna find a place to camp out?
Grom will lead the way. He'll be attempting to move slowly, but between the tunnels and his medium armor, you can just hear him coming from a mile away, essentially.
As you're walking into the next room, the stone underneath your feet turns into wood, which is very unusual. You're not very familiar with this, and it seems echoey, like echoey wood, similar to like a stage or something. And so you guys walk further and further into this tunnel, and a spotlight hits you as you go about 10 feet onto this wooden stage. You hear in a microphoned voice, "Ladies and gentlemen, we have your new contestants on the Wheel of Umber!"
The Wheel of Umber is filmed before a live studio audience.
And then you hear studio audience applause.
Zag's clapping.
Yes, and with that, I believe that's where we're going to end our session. My name is Cade, the host and dungeon demon of this Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition adventure, and I'm joined here by the characters to my left.
Alec playing Zag.
Mason playing Grom.
Marissa playing Efimia.
And Brooklyn playing Selene.
Thank you so much for joining us this session. I'm very excited for this little game show session that I have planned for next session, so make sure to check it out. And go ahead and check out our Patreon, where we are going to discuss this episode, last episode, and next episode in more detail on a Talked Prone episode hosted by our great friend and radio personality, Danny Dennison. And so check that out at patreon.com/knocked. That's knocked. KNOCKED, and join some of our great friends and patrons over there, including Garen Rawl, a Spellblade wizard who heard about the Bridesmaid of Darkness's nefarious deeds and arrived to slay the demon moments after the party had already left. Janlan, the half-elf who is part of Zag's orphan tribe, who definitely has the next episode of the Wheel of Umber TiVo'd so she can get another glimpse of the one who got away. Dean the Destroyer, a dragonborn who actually discovered the other cure for Drider's poison other than pure Drider venom, but received a large sum of money from the Bridesmaid of Darkness to keep that a secret. A huge thank you again to our patrons Riss, Just Riss, Tiefling Swords Bard, Jace Face the Destroyer, and of course, Kelric Bigfur, who wants to remind you to listen to the Talked Prone podcast on Patreon. And we hope that you remember when life knocks you flat on your back, all you gotta do is keep rolling, and we hope you have a wonderful rest of your day.